Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining my dissertation defense. My name is Aimable Mugabo. I'm originally from Rwanda, so very grateful for the support of committee and all of you who come to support. So my title of dissertation is Smallholder Farmers' Motivation and Utilization of Community Capital in Mobile Phone Use for Rwanda. The reason why I choose this topic, I wanted to understand what motivates smallholder farmers in the world when it comes to use mobile phone based on the available resources at community level. So I wanted to understand motivation behind, and also the community resources, human, social, and culture. I'll talk more on the
You got it. Yeah.
Okay.
You can keep it open too.
So, as I said, I'm from Rwanda. Rwanda is located in East Africa. South, we have Burundi. North, we have Uganda. East, we have Tanzania. West, we have DRC. When it comes to the problem, more than 70% of the Rwandan population, they are involved in agriculture, while the crop productivity remains low. Because of limited access to agricultural information, they are still used face-to-face extension services. This is time-consuming. This is expensive. It's expensive to pay extension agent to reach to all those smallholder farmers. However, the government of Rwanda has invested a significant amount of money into digital in agriculture. Even mobile phone penetration is like 5%, while the mobile phone used in agriculture is still in. From literature, Musafiri found the users of mobile phone can produce minimum 38% more than non-user of mobile phone. And also they can get 6% on average of income than non-users of mobile phone. So mobile phone is useful too. It's useful too in agriculture. Even SWABO, Scientific Animation Without Borders, they have been using mobile phone to disseminate agricultural information where people can access those videos on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on social media. So mobile phone is very useful. There's some research that found some variance related to mobile phone as well, especially in Rwanda. One of them is limited digital skills, lack of smartphone access, poor connectivity in rural areas, lack of local content. So those are the barriers that can hinder smallholder farmers to access or to use mobile phone in agriculture. There are so many theories that have been done that have been used to study, to examine the adoption of mobile phone in agriculture. One of them is technology acceptance model, the freedom of innovation, but they did not fully explain farmers' motivation and the role of community support. My theoretical framework. I used Situated Expectancy-Value Theory. It's a motivation theory, and the few factors, human, social, and cultural factors from the community factors framework. So for Situated Expectancy-Value Theory, I would like to tell you a little bit about this theory. Expectancy-value theory was developed in 1957 by Atkinson. He wanted to understand what motivates individuals. So then he didn't talk much on value side. Then 1980s, Dr. Jack Eccles and Aaron, they extended this theory by coming up with four types of values, subjective values: intrinsic value, utility value, attainment value, and cost value. And also expectancy. What is expectancy? Expectancy is belief an individual has when it comes to performing a specific task. Intrinsic, personal enjoyment when you are performing the task. Utility value, how useful a task is. Then attainment, how important is it's connected to personal identity. Cost value is perceived barriers, the time you lost when you are doing a task. It can stress you out, you may have anxiety. So that's a cost. There is a cost. So the reason why I choose Situated Expectancy-Value Theory, I wanted to understand what motivates smallholder farmers in Rwanda. For expectancy, what are the beliefs of smallholder farmers in Rwanda when it comes to apply to use mobile phone for agriculture purposes? Intrinsic value, I wanted to understand. Does smallholder farmers enjoy when they are using mobile phone for agriculture purposes? Utility value, is it useful for them to use mobile phone? Attainment value, how important is it's like continual. It's connected to their identity. Cost value, what are barriers did they encounter when they're using mobile phone? It can be financial cost, can be digital literacy. So I wanted to understand some barriers smallholder farmers in Rwanda they encounter. So I complemented this motivation theory by three capitals: human, social, and cultural capital. So in this theory, as you see, we have available support. They didn't call capitals, but this theory is not a fixed theory. You see different examples. So that's where those capitals, those resources can fit, available support. So I'm gonna talk those capitals. So community capitals, it's different types of resources available at community level. Those are resources that can support smallholder farmers in Rwanda to use mobile phone. Availability of those resources, it's a good. Lack of those resources can be a barrier. So among of 7 capitals, I choose human, social, and culture because I think they fit to that theory I'm using, Situated Expectancy-Value Theory. The other capitals, political capital, for example, government institution, financial capital, for example, banking system, the capital, those are infrastructure, natural capital, those are, for example, soil, water, but I'm using culture, human, and social. Human capital, it's skills, knowledge. We have some available resources in Rwanda, like NGO, government extension services. Those institutions can develop, can equip smallholder farmers for skills and knowledge. Social capital, you can say social network. We have cooperatives. In Rwanda, we have community work, Umuganda. Those are social network. Cultural capital, we have shared values, tradition, norms, language. So those resources, availability of those resources can support the smallholder farmers in Rwanda to use mobile phone for agriculture information. I'm going to show you how it works for my conceptual framework. So my conceptual framework, on the right side, you see I have social, as I said, social capitals, example, cooperative, saving groups, churches, then cultural capital, language, family events, human capital, formal and non-formal education, NGOs, extension services. So those are capitals. So availability of these resources can support or constrain the use of mobile phone. And also this allow down, these resources, these capitals can motivate, those are motivation construct, can motivate smallholder farmers to use mobile phone. So on the left side, you see expectancy to self-efficacy, ability to use mobile phone, capability, the confidence that smallholder farmers has to use mobile phone for agriculture information. The task values, those are the 4 types I was saying: intrinsic value, attainment value, cost value, utility value. So those motivation constructs can motivate the use of mobile phones. So this allow you see here, when a smallholder farmer is motivated, that can form also these factors. That's my conceptual framework. The purpose of this study was to describe and predict community capitals as related to the adoption of mobile phone for agriculture information amongst smallholder farmers in Rwanda. So I have 3 such questions. The first question is about descriptive statistics. The second one is about I wanted to understand the relationship among those variables. The third question was about the regression. So I will talk about them when I get to the results. That's why I needed to go here for the points. Study area. I purposely choose one district from each province. We have 5 provinces. So then in North, I choose Musanze. South, I choose Nyamagabe. East, I choose Nyagatare. West, I choose Kalonji. Kigali, I choose Gasabo. So within each district, I randomly selected cooperatives. Within cooperatives, I randomly selected smallholder farmers. So the total sample size was 442. I used state cluster sample. So you can see those areas, study area on this map. Method. This is quantitative study. The paradigm that guided this study was positivism. Positivism, the reality is objective, it's measurable, it's quantifiable. So I developed a questionnaire based on stated expectancy-value theory and the community capital framework. So after that, I consulted my dissertation committee and also the one who developed the theory of the graphical course. So after having the questionnaire, I applied IRB, Institutional Review Board. They approved my study as well as in Rwanda. After getting my study approved, I went in Rwanda. I spent time to train enumerators because I was not able to collect data for 442. So I trained enumerators. I spent almost 1 week so that they can have understanding of the questionnaire. Then after training enumerators, we did field test. We wanted to know how long this instrument take to check if the items are well formulated. Then we came back, found the instrument. After that, we started the data collection. So regarding the data analysis and the results, I will talk when I get there. But data analysis, the first question I analyzed data by using SPSS. The first question was about the means and standard deviation. The second question, as I said, was about collection. The third one was about the effect. So I will talk one on my instrumentation set. The questionnaire was having 5 sections: demographic, age, education. The second section was about the dependent variable mobile phone used for agriculture information in Rwanda. I came up with 17 types of agriculture services, for example, market prices. The third type was community capital asset. As I said earlier, human capital, for example, education, institution, NGOs, extension services, social capital, cooperatives, non-cooperative organization, for example, churches, saving groups, cultural capital, for example, family event. Those are the resources. It was like inventory of those resources at community level to understand those resources that can support smallholder farmers. Then the fourth section was about the motivational constraint. You can say I was having 5 variables of motivation constraint, the self-efficacy. This is an example of question I have been asking. How confident are you in your ability to use mobile phone for agriculture purposes? Utility value have been asking. How useful is it? How useful mobile phone is for agriculture purposes? Attainment value. How important is it mobile phone for agriculture purposes? This is connected to personal identity. It's central. So then cost value, it's perceived barrier. I have been asking how much of a problem is. So that's some barriers smallholder farmers they encounter when they're using mobile phone for agriculture purposes. The last section was about the self-appraisal of community capitals for using mobile phone. Self-appraisal of human capital. I have been asking, have you received training on how to use mobile phone for agriculture? Yes or no? If so, how much training have you received? Social capital. Have you attended the community events about mobile phone agriculture tools? Yes or no? If so, how? How many times do you attend? Cultural capital. Do you prefer traditional face-to-face advice or mobile phone services? Yes or no? How often do you get advice from someone in person? So those are sections of my questionnaire. Results. So to what extent did the participant use mobile phone to access agricultural information? We found more than 75% of smallholder farmers, they access the agricultural information via their mobile. While 24% they did not access agricultural information via their mobile phone. The first question B, to what extent did the participant identify, access, and utilize community capitals, human, social, and culture? So as I said earlier, those are resources at community level. We have human capital, social capital, and cultural capital. We wanted to know if the smallholder farmers they have awareness. Do you aware of these resources at your community? We wanted to understand if they have awareness, if they have access to those resources, and also if they utilize those resources. In this study, we focus to utilization variable because even if a smallholder farmers may have awareness of resource and also as well you have access to that resource, but if you don't utilize that resources, it's not benefiting you. So the most important variable we focus in this study was utilization. You can see smallholder farmers in Rwanda, they are involved more in social capital, social network. The following one is human capital. The next one is cultural capital. Second question was about the correlation. I wanted to understand the relationship among of these variables and also relationship among of these variables with the dependent variable. As you see, so the motivation variables, all of them, they were, even the capitals, all of them, they were statistically significant, correlated with mobile phone. So attainment value, intrinsic value, utility value, self-efficacy, you see they were strongly correlated with mobile phone. Self-appraisal of human capital, self-appraisal of social capital, they were moderately correlated with mobile phone. Then if you see above, you can see social capital utilization, cultural capital utilization, they were negatively correlated with mobile phones. So that means mobile phone use is not currently integrated in social network. They are using more extension services, help from others, so they are not yet integrated as much mobile phone use. The third question. The third question was about the regression. I used the hierarchical linear regression. So the way I did, I started with those capitals, human capital, social capital, and cultural capital utilization. Then R square, it was 0.21. That means 21% of variance is explained in mobile phone use by those three capitals. Then the second block, I entered the 5 variables of motivation construct. They added almost 24. If you see R square was 0.45. That means 45% of variance was explained in mobile phone by, of course, capitals as well as the motivation variables. Then the third block, when I entered the self-appraisal of human, social, and cultural capitals regarding mobile phone use, they didn't add any explanatory power. So you see R square remains the same. The final model. This is the final model. So the final model, the free variables from motivation construct, I was having 5 constructs. They were statistically significant. Those are the predictors of mobile phone use for agricultural information. So Additional to that, the human capital utilization. As you see, human capital utilization and standardized B coefficient was 4. That means one increase of human capital utilization, 1 unit increase in human capital utilization can increase 4 in mobile phone use for agriculture. So that means human capital utilization is very, very important. As I said earlier, it's about training, skills, knowledge to equip smallholder farmers. So this is the most important. Then attainment value, as I said, it's about how important they value. If smallholder farmers, they don't value what they are doing, if they find it's important to them, it's going to give them productivity, it's going to provide income. So that's why you see attainment value is significant. Self-efficacy, yes, they have belief, they have capability, they believe mobile phone use is very important. Then cost value, as you see, it was negative. As I said, cost is a barrier. There are some barriers. Even if a smallholder farmers should be motivated, but when they have some barriers that can reduce, that can decline motivation. As you see, it's B unstandardized B coefficient was -1. That means one increase of cost value can decrease because it's minus the use of mobile phone. If you want Rwandan smallholder farmers to use mobile phone, you have to decrease, you have to reduce the barriers. Implication. Trainings for farmers should integrate mobile phone skills into their daily farming practice. That's a key factor. Alongside motivation building strategies. Second implication. Policymakers should reduce barriers related to the use of mobile phone. So some barriers, they need to create a local content. They can also improve infrastructure like network connectivity, electricity, especially in rural areas. That's a cost. It has to be reduced. The third implication, promote collaboration between key stakeholders involved in facilitating farmers to access agricultural information via mobile phone. For example, Minagri, RAB, Ministry of ICT, telecom companies. So agriculture is under the Ministry of Agriculture. Mobile phone, it's under the Ministry of ICT and Innovation. It's IT tools. So, and also those telecom companies where they can buy bundles, they can get internet. So they need to work together to facilitate smallholder farmers to access agricultural information via mobile phone. The last implication, foster the interaction between extension partners, government, NGOs, private, and other stakeholders and farmers to improve the utilization of mobile phone use for agriculture information. So I was having non-implication, those are some among of the others. Future study. Recommendation for future study. Future study should validate the instrument using confirmatory factor analysis. So this was a new instrument. We didn't, it was not used before by other researchers. So it needs to be validated. Second, future study should focus on other capitals from community capitals framework. So I used human, social, and culture. Future study should use political capital, bid capital, financial capital, and also natural capital. So the last recommendation. Future study should prioritize developing and validating the community capital index based on the awareness, accessibility, and utilization structure. So in this study, I focused on utilization variable, but future study should validate by using community index of those three variables: awareness, accessibility, and utilization. Thank you. I would like to take a moment to thank different people, but before I go there, I thank God for the protection, for the guidance, for the strength. God, I thank you. I'm very grateful. Second, I want to thank my dissertation committee, Dr. Julia Deropla. She has been very supportive for funding opportunities, for mentorship. God bless you. I want to thank Dr. Leonardo. He has been guiding me every single step when I started to work on this research. The time I took his class, research design for social scientists, my eyes was open. My eyes was open. I said, wow, you developed, changed my life. God bless you. I want to thank Dr. Lama. Dr. Lama, thank you so much. He's the head of department. He has been helping me. Thank you for being my committee. If I tell you the truth, the class social science statistics you initiated with Dr. Maktak, I don't know if I didn't take that class, I don't know how I'm supposed to manage this journey. So every time I have been going back to watch the videos. So thank you so much for initiating that class. I was thinking that class was initiated because of you. So I want to thank Dr. Theo. He's online. He's from Kentucky State University. Thank you for your mentorship. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your help. So maybe I can do like this so that, am I muted?
No, they can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
On this laptop,
On this laptop.
where you are hosting, they can hear you here. Yeah.
Okay. Dr. Theo is online. You can see him. You can see him. He's from Kentucky University. Dr. Theo, thank you so much. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your support. He's the one who introduced me by email to this university. So thank you so much. I'm very grateful. Maybe I think you saw the picture, the last picture. So I connected Dr. Jack Echoes when I started to work on instrument. So it was even from the assignment from Dr. Nobro. So he said, go and look some expert. Then I emailed her. She responded. She gave me time. This instrument, if you ask me, what is the difficult task? Developing instrument. She helped me to review my instrument as well as the committee. I have been spending time with Zoom. I got good support. Even I visited her in California, spent 1 week there. So we had a wonderful conversation. I was very impressed when I heard from her how she has been with in the same committee, Dr. Bandora, for example, who developed the self-efficacy. So it was a good time with her. So I think maybe she's online. So